Hello, my name is Holden Clarkson. I'm a senior studying advertising. I'm here with my co-host,
Maddie. I'm a senior studying electronic media.
as well as...
Well, Isaac, I am a public relations senior.
And Matt, I'm an electronic media senior as well.
And we are four Texas State students talking all things Texas State sports here at the Bobcat Bulletin. Today we're going to be talking about the start of the baseball season, Texas State's softball having a good weekend, and the slowing down of both the Texas State men's and women's basketball team last week, as well as discussing some other things in the world of Texas State sports. So to get us started, we got to talk about our great weekend and start to the Texas State baseball season. We went 3-0 in 3 games against Youngstown State Penguins, including a 20-0 win in, I believe, our second game. So that's just a great start. It's getting us all excited about a new season in college baseball. I know we had a pretty successful year last year. I believe we made the tournament. And so to start out 3-0, getting ready for the Carbach Round Rock Classic coming up next weekend is a great start to the year. Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, 20-2 in a baseball game.
20-0.
Oh, I'm seeing 20-2.
Oh, is it 20-2?
Yeah, I think they got 2 in the.
Oh.
In one in the 6th.
I read that wrong.
One in the 8th. You're good. Okay, 20-2, 20-0. That I
Yeah.
cannot.
18.
I wish I was there.
Yeah, that would have been electric.
Such a fun game to see.
Definitely.
You really don't see those kind of scores.
No, not in baseball.
And especially their next 2 games, 6-1 and then 11-1. I mean, they didn't let them score anything. Like it
looks like we got a good pitching unit this year.
And that makes me really, really excited for the baseball season coming up. Just with how high, I mean, even 6-1 isn't a very
definitely
game for baseball. So it's making me really excited.
Yeah.
One player I feel like that shone really bright during these games was Ryan Farber. He had a batting average right now for the season is .625, and it's because he had 5 hits in that game, and he even stole a base.
That is correct. .625 is wild. I mean, it's only 3 games, so I know that'll go down, but 5 hits in a game is kudos to him.
Yeah, I would put that in my Instagram bio or something while it's,
definitely.
It's still that high.
Yes.
You know?
Definitely. Get that screenshotted, put it on the Instagram story.
Remind everybody I know, hey, you know what my batting average is? At least for a week.
All right, and then Maddie, did you want to talk about the softball weekend a little bit?
Yeah, so softball was not quite as good as baseball, but they unfortunately lost to Tech on, I believe it was Saturday. They lost to Tech 4-1, Texas Tech 4-1, and then also lost to Tulsa 3-1. But then on Sunday came back and ended up beating Texas Tech 8-1. So they made up for that one.
Got their vengeance.
Yes. I got to see Jessica Mullins on the mound, which was great. I mean, I know we had talked about she won the preseason pitcher of the
Yeah, she's the
year.
ace, right?
Yeah. Watching her pitch was crazy. She can.
Did she play the entire game?
No, she went through 6, I believe, and then.
Oh, that's still pretty impressive.
Oh yeah, and she only gave up like 1 or 2 hits. She didn't give up any runs. And then they put in, I don't remember who they put in. I don't exactly remember who they put in after her, but then unfortunately in the top of the 7th, Texas Tech scored 4 and Bobcats couldn't come back.
Oh.
But yeah, throughout the entire game, Tech was scoreless, and then top of the 7th, they scored 4.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, but both pitchers on both sides, Maddie Kuehl, I'm not exactly sure how to say that. She was the pitcher for Tech. I mean,
she was killing it too.
Also an ace. Like she pitched the entire game, didn't miss a spot. Like kudos to both of those pitchers. They were really, really good. And then in the game against Tulsa, we had Annika Anderson, who is the pitcher for Tulsa, who got that win, and then Madison Azul, who pitched for us, who unfortunately got that loss. But really, it was not bad because the only time that Tulsa scored was on a 3-run home run in the top of the fourth, and then other than that, they went scoreless. And just, again, unfortunately, Texas State just could not keep up with that. And then in the game against Texas Tech the next day, we had Jessica Mullins pitching again, who she got her win for that one. And then Maddie Wright for Tech, who lost that one.
So she pitched. Did she pitch 2 games in 3 days?
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot on an arm.
In 2 days.
In 2 days. That's a lot on an arm.
Yeah, I mean, I know that, all of these girls played, like, select and club softball growing up, and, going into those tournaments, you would have to be pitching all day,
So I was watching them pitch because I'd never, like, seen it up close.
Yeah.
Like, it's like that wind up.
Oh, yeah.
And over again with that ball. I mean, that just might throw out your shoulder after that many times.
Well, it takes a lot of rehab. For
sure. I bet.
And, like, I can't imagine. I mean, with how hard they're throwing it, and just watching, mostly Jessica pitch, like the amount of her body that she uses. I mean, she like jumps after the pitch because she is pushing everything into it.
Oh,
like,
God.
She's incredibly talented.
That's what makes her so good, though, right?
Yeah, it was really, really great to watch. It was really great to watch, but. Happy to get a win out of that game on Sunday, I believe. That was Sunday.
An 8-4 start in 12 games, not too shabby.
No, not at all. I'm again super excited about this softball season. Really excited to go watch some more games, especially watching Jessica Mullins pitch, and then also Hannah Earls. She's, I believe, the shortstop.
Yeah, she was good in the game I went to go see.
She watching her hit was really cool. She can see the ball like I've never seen anybody else see the ball, and like every single at bat she had, she drawed pitches out of that pitcher. Like she is such a good hitter. She's only gonna hit something if it's perfect, and like knows how to watch. She's just. Is
she the winner of the preseason?
No, that was somebody else, but she has won. She's. In 2022, she got the All Sun Belt first team, and I think that's all she has so far.
I mean, all first team anything is pretty nice.
Oh my gosh, yes. But yeah, I believe she's a senior this year, but yeah, she's a lefty slapper. She also plays shortstop. She's a very, very talented athlete. It was cool to watch her. That's all I got on softball.
All right, sweet. Well, we'll take it over to Isaac to talk about the Texas State men and women's basketball a little bit.
I want to start off by saying congrats to Coach Antoine on, I believe it's 200?
200 wins, yeah,
200 wins.
Against Ohio.
A few weeks ago, but better late than never. So congrats to her on that accomplishment. This weekend, though, was not not very well. Great news. It started off with a loss to Troy, which they actually kept it close in the first half. They were only down by 2, but just in the third quarter, Troy's Jemiah Hollins, she went off for 13 points in the third quarter, and that really just deflated the team.
13 points in a quarter is crazy. That's
very impressive.
Some people are lucky to get 13 points in the game.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What did she end with?
That is a good question. She ended off with...
I'm going to guess 30.
What was her name?
Jemiah... 26.
26.
She scored half of her points.
Half of her points in the third quarter. Oh, that's rough.
11 to 17 off straight field goals. No 3-pointers. And only 4 free throws, too. So that's pretty impressive. 4 steals as well.
Dang.
She had a really good game.
She had a good game.
Playing on both sides of the court.
Tiffany Tullins and Julia Coleman on Texas State both had 15 each. So that was pretty good on pretty efficient shooting, 6 to 7 and 6 to 10. But yeah, we were just never able to come back from that crazy run by Hollins. And then the next game, again, Southern Miss, another close game. We actually, it was a game of like coming back. We started off in the first quarter being tied almost all the way, and then Southern Miss went on a run at the end of the first to
In the first half or
first quarter.
first quarter? Okay.
Yeah, they went on an 8-0 run to end the quarter, so we were down by 8. And then the second, third quarter, we were just coming back from that deficit. Yeah. And so we got it to a point where at the start of the fourth, we were actually tied. But then...
they kind of ran away with it.
Yeah, they countered again. They just took the momentum. They had... Dominic Davis for the Southern Miss had 16 points in the final quarter alone.
Damn.
So I guess this is a reoccurring issue. Yeah. Where, we let a player.
We got a D up. We got a D up in
when somebody's hot, we gotta put 2 bodies on them. For sure.
Yeah, let someone else shoot it.
We ended up losing 68-58. Just very deflating losses because we're in them. Both of the games were close, and it's just like a hero on the other team that just steps up.
Yeah. Is Texas State women's, are they still above 500 or?
They are 13 and 14 now.
13 and 14, so one.
They're right under 3-11 in the Sun Belt. Yeah.
That's not good. That's been the problem with both teams is they just can't perform in conference play.
Yeah. It's a bit of a bummer, but I mean, we have the potential clearly. We just gotta.
Oh yeah.
There was a lot of turnover. There was a lot of turnover issues too on the Southern Miss loss. A lot of turnovers in the fourth.
So we just need probably better point guard play.
Yeah, probably. Just handling the ball better, for sure, would definitely help us in the long run.
How about Texas State men's? That
was
similar story.
Yeah, that was another loss against
Southern Miss.
Southern Miss. I think we also were kind of in this game. Yeah, we only lost by 4. Dropped down to 11-16, 4-10 in the Sun Belt.
Brandon Love had a good game, right? Or was that the game prior?
He had 10 points.
I mean, he's like one of our only guys that can consistently get us double digits.
Yeah, I know we had 2 injuries going into this game. Maybe that had affected.
Oh, I'm sure it did.
The game. Jordan Mason had 18 points.
Nice shout out, Jordan Mason.
2 steals. It's pretty good. On the other side, we had on Southern Miss, Andre Corbello had 24 points. 8 of 9, 1 of 2 shooting.
8 and 9.
He missed 1 shot. We got D up.
Yeah.
Clearly for men's and women's.
I know one problem we've been having all year on the men's team is just lack of shooters as well. Like, we got these big bodies who can get it in the paint, who can, post up, get their buckets. But there's just, probably averaging 3 to 4 3-pointers made a game. And that's just not going to do it. Like, some of these teams have, two or three guys who average 3-point, three makes from 3 alone. And our entire team is averaging that, basically.
Yeah. I went to go film Texas State play against Ball University.
Oh, yeah?
Last week.
Last week?
And Colleton Benson, that guy is our only shooter.
He's the only shooter?
Yeah, he can shoot that. He is always ready in the corner. In this game, he went 3 for 6 for 3, 17 points. So he clearly can shoot it.
Yeah, we just need more shooters out there.
For sure. I mean, I'm looking at the box score right now, and besides him, there was only 3 more attempts for 3.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he made 3 threes, 3 out of 6, and the rest of the team just shot 3 more threes.
And they missed all of them.
Yeah.
So it makes 3 for 9.
3 for 9, for the game.
This in modern
3 3-pointers in a game is not going to win you anything.
And especially in modern basketball, it's just 3-pointers are so important.
Yeah.
And he's only a sophomore, also, which I would say is kind of a big deal because that's still pretty young, and you have a lot of time left. Yep.
If it's okay, I would like to transition it to soccer.
That is perfectly fine, Matt. Yeah.
Okay, so we have some big news in soccer this week. We have a new assistant coach for our team. One of the assistant coaches. Excuse me. We have a new assistant coach called Esther. Her name is Esther Toth. She played for Real Meda CF in Italy and has moved back to the States. And she spent a little time coaching for CSU Bakersfield before joining the Texas State soccer team staff. She played all 4 years as a roadrunner in Bakersfield, California, not UTSA. That would be tough. If she was a UTSA, graduate, I don't know if we could really trust her.
Yeah, she'd be joining the dark side with us.
Yeah. Thankfully, she's not from UTSA. But speaking of teams in our conference, we are going against. Oh wait, no, they're not. Is St. Edward's in our conference?
St. Edward's is not in our conference.
Okay, well, never mind. We're warming up. We're warming up for UTSA by facing St. Edward's University on February 23rd.
Is that going to be in San Marcos or in Austin?
Yeah, that's going to be on our field at the Bobcats soccer complex.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it should be a good warm up.
Yeah.
I anticipate us to do pretty well.
Yeah.
Steads.
Exciting.
Yeah.
I always love watching the women's soccer team.
Yeah.
Really awesome. There one in my sports comms class. We were talking about Texas State athletics and what we think about it, and it was kind of negative connotation towards like the football and basketball, but our students are kind of proud of like our baseball and soccer. And I mean, started off 3-0 with the men's baseball, and women's soccer just every year have been pretty consistent.
Yeah, our baseball team beat UT last year, which and then UT's got a great team.
We beat them as well.
Yes.
And we made like ESPN because like when we put like the horns down, pretty hype moment.
Oh yeah.
Pretty hype moment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I want that rivalry. I wish that rivalry was more of a thing. Like, you always have UT versus A&M, UT versus OU, but like, why can't Texas State and UT be rivals?
People show up. People show up for that game. To us, it means something.
Yeah, definitely to us.
Well, and I think that, I talk about it all the time, but with Texas State winning their bowl game, I think it's just like it's going to make that happen even more, like putting us in the bucket with like UT and like all those bigger names. I'm not saying that we're going to, we're not as big as them, we're not as like whatever the word is, but like we're getting a lot closer, and like you were saying, people love to watch it. Like people love to watch UT and Texas State play, especially baseball. Like when they beat them, I think it was 2 years ago, I don't even think I was here yet, and I saw about it like on ESPN and everything. I wasn't even a student here yet, and I already saw it, so it's like super
You're like, I'm super excited to go here now.
Gosh, I gotta go watch that.
I mean after that, I guess I can segue into a question I had for y'all, which is, do you think Texas State is getting to the point where it could be big enough to move out of the Sun Belt in one of these major conferences? Maybe not this year, maybe not next year, but maybe 3 to 4 years.
Next year.
3 to 4 years down the line, could we see Texas State in a major conference? Like most likely would be the Big 12 after UT and OU are departing. What do y'all think are the chances?
Well, let's think about the teams that are very successful that we have. We have baseball, we have soccer, we have women's golf. Men's golf's all right. We have, I know our, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting. I wrote it down.
We got to shout out our football team, too, for winning the bowl game this year.
Oh, of course. Football's huge.
Yeah. Shout them out every week.
Dang it. Sorry, guys. I dropped the ball.
No, you're
on
fine.
Oh, tennis.
Tennis, yeah. Tennis has been producing.
Tennis, like soccer, we don't have a men's counterpart to that, but our tennis team is very good, and we have a lot of players who spend some time after like their high school playing in South America, and now they've come up. So they were semi-professional, and now they're playing for our team, so they're doing quite well.
Interesting. So do you know do they go there for like 2-3 years, or was it only a couple months?
It'll be a couple of years. It's pretty standard for tennis players to do that. They'll either stay in South America or Europe or wherever they're from for a couple of years and play on a
Is there more money there? Is that why they do it? Or
I think it's so that they can get experience, so that they can come here on scholarship.
Oh, interesting.
Mostly, rather than
that
the
makes
money.
sense.
Because the money in tennis is not that great because everybody wants to be a tennis player, and it's so expensive to travel. Really on the pro tour, really only the top 100 men and women are
making like good money.
Yeah, the rest of them kind of break even on travel and get to play tennis. but it seems like we have a good number, about half a dozen teams that are performing well now.
Yeah.
With basketball, if we can fix our shooting problem, I imagine that can change the tide.
Oh well, if we went into the Big 12 with basketball, it would take us a long time because the Big 12 is the best basketball conference in the nation right now. I mean, they're or maybe the Big East. What?
It's like Duke and
No, Duke's ACC. Big 12's got like Kansas, Baylor. Who else is ranked right now? I want to say, Houston's in the top 10.
Houston's really good.
Yeah, Houston just joined the Big 12 recently too.
Oh, really?
There's a couple other stragglers that I'm forgetting. Maybe West Virginia. No, West Virginia's bad now. Oh, Iowa State. No, not Iowa. Yeah, Iowa State. Yeah. So that's 4 of the best teams. ACC's good as well with like Duke and North Carolina, but Big 12 I think's got like 5 teams in the top 25, which is just crazy, for how many college teams there are.
Yeah, and I think the biggest sport for especially in Texas is football. So once I think that's gonna take us gonna be the biggest leap for us to get over, for us to move up into a bigger conference is just getting our football team more, winning more bowl games, all that kind of stuff. I think it'll take a couple years of if we win, if we win back-to-back bowl games coming up this year, I think.
Oh, that'll be a big deal.
Huge deal. I think that would definitely help our chances.
Yeah.
But I just unfortunately think the other sports are just a little bit too small to push us up into a big conference like that, especially just being in Texas.
But sometimes it only takes one sport.
I know, yeah.
Reference Duke. Duke's only got basketball
That's
going
true.
for them, and they're in the ACC
dominating basketball.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
So it's we're not.
We're not
Unfortunately,
yeah.
we are not dominating in anything else. We're good, we're okay,
Yeah.
we win some things, but we're not best of the best.
That's true. It seems like are the strides that GJ is taking,
Mm-hmm.
are they going to pan out? Because we talked about it last time with the hirings and the coaching staff and how those guys, like the wide receivers coach having experience with Clemson and all those great receivers coming out of Clemson, and I forgot and then they brought the DB coach the safeties coach up to defensive coordinator, which everyone thought was a great move. Are these moves going to pan out is the question, and if they do, then I think we're seeing Texas State competing on the biggest stage. Maybe not in 4 to 5 years either.
You know
but
what? I would love to see that.
Oh, yeah.
That would make me so happy. I don't care if it happens when I'm 80 years old. I would still be right there. Being I went there. I'd be so excited about that.
And when we were there, they weren't that good. And now we can own it if they are that good.
know.
We've been there since day one.
Yeah.
All right.
I love doing that.
Yeah.
Being a fan of a sport and or being a fan of a city or a college or something when they're not great, and then when they do get good, it's I've been there since they sucked. Just saying, no big deal.
That actually brings me to another question I had that kind of segue from that is being a part of a community such as Texas State make you enjoy sports that you may not have enjoyed before?
Yes.
Yes.
Football.
Football, yeah. You're not a football fan before?
Well, I was, but I didn't really care. I didn't really have a reason to care, and now, during football season, I am paying attention to so much college football, it's ridiculous. Especially because I'm also a fan of UT. I have a bunch of friends that go to UT, so I pay attention to that, which I don't want to hate on Texas State. It's a little bit more fun to watch.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm from Austin. I know. I come from a UT family.
But it's a lot of fun to, be able to pay attention to everything, especially last season when we beat Baylor, because that was my sister-in-law went to Baylor and was it was so much fun to have that rivalry or whatever, and then actually win was oh my gosh, this is so fun.
Oh, that was a big step.
So crazy. And I remember looking at the ESPN stat percentage, and it was 95% chance that Baylor was going to win, or 90% chance, one of those. And then just throughout the game, it just kept getting lower and
Yeah.
lower, and Texas State kept going up. I was like, oh my gosh, we're going to win it. We're going to win it. And then we did, and it was so fun. But yeah,
Yeah.
I love college football.
How about
I like baseball. I never really. I finally understand the rules of baseball. Like last year, I remember I went to like Texas State has like dollar dog nights. I'm there. For that.
Yeah.
So I'd go, and then baseball would kind of be like the secondary thing that I'm there for. But obviously I'm watching it.
Yeah, of course.
So that's been fun getting, and then we're also good in baseball,
Yeah.
so that's fun too. So that's been a pleasure to be doing here at Texas State, just watching baseball and getting to know it more and more, and finally getting to know the rules. That's been a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah, Isaac, I started paying attention more to baseball too since I came here. I never really cared about it, but just from listening to KTSW, the radio station, they always broadcast the games. So it's like, for me, it was the radio station got you in. For you, it was the dollar hot dogs, which I didn't know about. So now I'm about to be a huge baseball fan. I'm going to be listening to the radio and getting free hot
Is
dogs
it
or dollar hot
unlimited?
dogs.
Yeah,
dogs?
it's $1. There's no limit. I mean, I got up to 3.
You have to 3.
There's not a limit?
I don't believe so.
So you can go in there and get 10 dogs and
I
just
think
like.
so. You just might have to wait a little bit. Yeah.
Most MLB teams do like a dollar dog night, like Major League stuff, but they like limit it to like 4 or 5.
Yeah, I got up to 3 myself, and then my friend got up to like 2, so that was like 5. So, and I bought it myself. I
Okay,
didn't
so you
question
bought.
anything.
Okay.
And it's only $5.
It's $5.
That's pretty good.
They're going to regret that when I bring the wrestling club there.
Yeah, I bet.
We're about to be out of season, and we are some hungry folks.
We're about to have a hot dog shortage on our hands.
That's so funny.
I hope so.
You do a little eating competition during the games.
During the
See who can down the most hot
A
dogs.
hot dog per inning.
Oh,
That's,
easy.
that's 9 of them. Ooh.
That's
Easy.
a lot of hot
I put
dogs.
on
You
10
can do that?
pounds Saturday.
How about a hot dog per like half inning? So you
Oh,
do
so you eat
top of the
18
first,
dogs.
yeah, bottom of the first.
I bet the heavyweights can manage that.
Yeah.
I don't know about everybody
That's
else.
an insane amount of hot dogs.
Yeah. I mean, whenever we have our tournaments, we kind of weigh in before, and then we also weigh in before we go to bed, like that night, because in between each tournament, we have 2 or 3 weeks to like lose the weight again. So like sometimes our heavyweights will gain 15 pounds in a day. Like personally, I gained 10 pounds in a day on Saturday just from like water and eating absolutely everything I could, you know?
Wait, why do you do that?
You squeeze all the water out, so you're weighing in with just muscle, so you're the strongest, heaviest guy. So like as soon as I weigh in, I drink like 3 or 4 cups of water. I have some coffee. I eat something. So I weigh in at like 165, a little bit under. Typically, I aim for 64, so I can definitely get it because like each scale's a little bit different. But then once I weigh in, by the time I'm actually wrestling, I'm like 169 or 170. Usually,
That's just like
from
a
like
little hack.
rehydrating. Yeah, so I'm a little heavier and fresher. Whenever you deprive your body of stuff like that, as soon as you have like 3 sips of water and a blueberry, you feel like Superman. You're ready to go.
That's funny.
Yeah, but we just had a tournament this weekend. We competed at U of H downtown against like 3 schools from Louisiana, LSU, Louisiana Tech, and Xavier, and then pretty much every school that has a wrestling club in Texas except for Baylor. So it was like Tech was there, UT, A&M. A&M showed up in force. They have like a 25-person club.
Oh, wow.
It was pretty impressive, yeah. And I think they're relatively new, 2 or 3 years old. LSU came all the way from, it's not New Orleans, they're from
Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge. Yeah, they came all the way from Baton Rouge. They have their program just started this year. They don't even have uniforms. They're wearing their high school singlets, and those guys are crushing it. I gotta commend them. Like, I don't know. I went 0-1, and it was because of LSU. So I gotta tip my hat. Yeah, but we do have 2 guys on the team I think might do pretty well in nationals this year. We have our senior heavyweight, Prasad Dalvi. He wrestled Division I for a year in California and then came to Texas State to, kind of be closer to his family because this is where he's from. And then we have our freshman, Bailey Earl. He didn't place at state in high school his senior year, but he made it to the state tournament. And he's been doing really well this year. I'm excited to see potentially a freshman take him a dub for Texas State.
That'd be awesome. I always love to see freshmen show out.
Yeah, it's exciting. And he's lighter. the heavyweight, it's a cool match to watch, but the Bailey wrestles at 141, so he's really moving around and the scrambles are crazy. I put the highlight reels together. He's my favorite.
Yeah, he's enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, he makes my job easier.
Yeah.
So shouts out to Bailey.
Alrighty, I think that's going to just about cover it. Just to go over everything really fast, we talked about the start of the baseball season as well as our softball season, week 2. We talked about the slowing down of Texas State's men and women's basketball. Matt talked about soccer and tennis, as well as what's going on with the wrestling team right now.
It's just a club, but
The
yes.
wrestling club.
Club for now.
Club for now, hopefully soon to be team. And we went over a couple questions. But I think that'll do it. Again, my name is Holden Clarkson.
I'm Maddie House.
I'm Isaac Valdez Cervantes.
And I'm Matt Strain.
And we are the Bobcat Bulletin.